What if I told you that most people don't fail to change their lives because they lack motivation, but because their body is addicted to their past? What if your stress, your illness, your anxiety, or even your repeated failures are not bad luck, but unconscious patterns you've been rehearsing for years? And what if the moment you understand how this works, you could begin to rewrite your biology, your identity, and your future? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your thoughts, emotions, or your past the same way again. This isn't motivational talk. This isn't positive thinking. And this definitely isn't about hoping things will get better. What you're about to hear is based on real neuroscience, real biology, and real human transformation. In this video, we'll break down how the brain becomes wired to past experiences, why the body resists change even when the mind wants it, and how some people manage to break free and create measurable physical transformation. This is a deep journey, and if you stay until the end, you'll understand why change doesn't begin when life improves. It begins when you do. What if the limits you believe define your life are not real at all? What if your body, your health, your future, and even your identity are far more flexible than you've ever been taught? Across cultures and throughout history, there have always been individuals who seem to operate beyond what we consider normal human ability. People who recovered from so-called incurable diseases. People who accessed deep intuition, extraordinary clarity, or unshakable inner peace. For centuries, these individuals were labeled mystics, healers, or spiritual anomalies, rare exceptions rather than evidence of a universal human capacity. But today, modern science is beginning to catch up with what ancient traditions have quietly known all along. Neuroscience now confirms that the brain is not fixed. Epigenetics reveals that genes are not destiny, and research into the mind-body connection demonstrates that thoughts and emotions are not just abstract experiences. They are biological signals that directly influence the body. This means something radical. You are not trapped by your past. You are not limited by your diagnosis, your trauma, or your history. And change does not begin in the outer world, it begins internally. This journey starts with understanding one crucial truth. Most people are unconsciously living in the past, even when they believe they are moving forward. Human beings are creatures of habit, not by choice, but by biology. Every thought you think fires specific neural circuits in the brain. Every emotion you feel releases chemical messengers into the body. Over time, repeated thoughts and emotions create familiar neurological and chemical patterns. These patterns become your identity. This is why most people wake up as the same person every day. They think the same thoughts, feel the same emotions, react the same way, make the same decisions. Even when they want change, their body resists it. Why? Because the body becomes emotionally addicted to the past. Stress, sadness, guilt, anger even, Suffering can become chemically familiar. The body learns to expect these states and begins to crave them. And when the mind tries to change, the body pulls it back to what feels known. This is what it means to live on autopilot. A story of collapse and awakening. Consider the story of a woman we'll call Elena. Elena experienced a sudden and devastating loss that shattered her emotional world. In the aftermath, her mind replayed the event endlessly. Every day she relived the same memories. Every night her body flooded with the same emotions: grief, shock, resentment, and despair. Although the event was over, her nervous system didn't know that. Her body responded as if the trauma were still happening. Over time, Elena's health began to deteriorate. Her immune system, overwhelmed by prolonged stress chemistry, turned against her own tissues. In less than a year, she developed severe neurological inflammation that robbed her of mobility. Soon after, painful autoimmune symptoms appeared, followed by a life-threatening diagnosis that shocked her doctors. Traditional treatments offered little hope, but what Elena didn't yet understand was this: her body was not betraying her. It was obeying her internal signals perfectly. The moment, everything changed. At a turning point in her journey, Elena encountered a new way of understanding healing, not as something that happens to us, but something that happens through us. She learned a powerful concept. The same mind that creates illness can also create wellness when it is trained differently. For the first time, Elena realized that healing required more than positive thinking. It required a complete identity shift. She began a daily internal practice, not to fix her body, but to transform her inner state. Rewiring the mind, reconditioning the body. Elena committed to meditating twice a day, not casually, not occasionally, but consistently, regardless of pain, doubt, or fear. Her practice focused on several core principles. 1. Interrupting the emotional past. Instead of rehearsing memories, she trained herself to observe thoughts without attaching emotion to them. This weakened the neural circuits tied to her old identity. 2. Elevating emotional states. She intentionally generated feelings such as gratitude, appreciation, and inner joy, not because her life had changed, but because she was teaching her body a new chemical signature. 3. Breath and energy awareness. Through specific breathing patterns, she redirected stored emotional energy trapped in survival centers of the body, allowing the nervous system to reset. 4. Mental rehearsal of a new future. She didn't visualize healing as a hope. She experienced it as a certainty. In one deeply transformative meditation, Elena entered a state beyond pain, beyond time, beyond identity. She felt whole, free, complete. And in that moment, she saw herself healthy, speaking,
moving, laughing, and helping others. Her body recorded that experience as real. If you're someone who wants to understand the mind on a deeper level, not just to feel inspired, but to actually change how you think, feel, and live, make sure you subscribe to this channel. We don't upload random content here. We upload ideas that reprogram the way you see yourself in reality. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Becoming the future self before it arrives.
This is where most people fail. They wait for healing to feel gratitude. They wait for change to feel joy. They wait for proof. Elena did the opposite. She embodied the emotions of her future self before her body caught up. She practiced walking meditations even when movement was difficult, mentally rehearsing who she was becoming. She aligned her posture, breath, and awareness with a version of herself that already existed in potential. Day by day, her nervous system adapted. Week by week, her immune system calmed. Month by month, medical results began to shift.
After more than a week of unwavering practice, doctors were stunned. Inflammation markers normalized, damaged tissues healed. The life-threatening diagnosis vanished from scans. But the real miracle wasn't the test results. The miracle was that Elena was no longer the same person. She had broken emotional addiction to her past. She had reprogrammed her mind, and her body followed. Final reflection: your past is not your fate. This story is not about one extraordinary woman. It is about what becomes possible when a human being stops identifying with pain and starts identifying with potential. You don't change your life by fighting the past.
You change your life by outgrowing it. When your internal state changes deeply enough, reality has no choice but to respond. And the moment you stop waiting for proof is the moment transformation truly begins. If this video resonated with you, it's not by accident. It means a part of you already knows that your past does not define you and that your future is still unwritten. Remember this: you don't wait for change to feel different. You feel different, and then change has no choice but to follow. We release videos like this every single week. Deep conversations about the mind, the body, consciousness, and human potential. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because missing one video could mean missing the insight that changes everything. I'll see you in the next one.